up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with me is JJ.
Zetch Keenan.
Oh, nope. Not this week.
No,
He didn't make it back this week. Not this week.
Did you lose his number or something? What?
No, I just locked the door.
Oh.
He might be out there, actually. I just didn't let him in.
My understanding, you were trying to replace me. But see, I am often imitated but never duplicated, and I cannot be fired because of that clause in my contract. So,
well, We'll see about that.
Super Gamer Boys for life. I've already got the tattoo, so you can't get rid of me.
Can't get rid of you now.
Although,
dang it.
I loved Zetch. He was such a breath of fresh air here in the studio last time, and he did finally say that they accepted the application. They're currently through the review process.
Yeah, I saw that on Discord. You're now officially his best friend.
Yes.
So I guess we're not best friends anymore?
Well, I'm just saying you should have jumped on this pony when the riding was good.
That's okay.
That sounded really
I'm
bad.
good.
I didn't mean it like that, Garrett.
I'm totally fine.
Okay.
Your name is JJ Purdham.
Yes, my name is JJ Purdham. Thank you.
And you are the co-host of this show.
I am the co-host of this show. Other people want me to start shows with them, just so you know.
No, totally.
People are shopping around. They're looking.
I know. I have people wanting to start shows with me too. It's pretty cool. They're
just trying to get near me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get to you through me.
Yeah, that's an old con.
I get it.
And I don't know. Yeah.
I see. All this time, I thought Isaac was my friend, and at first he collaborates with you on the evil prank you pulled, and now
he's my bestie.
He's saying he wants to do a podcast, another one, and really
it's just an attempt to get into a podcast with me. Isaac and I are going to do a new prank podcast where we prank people.
Okay. What's it going to be called?
Pranks Are Us.
Well.
Yeah, because I copyrighted it already, so it's copyright.
Yo, you've been Pranks Are Us.
Yeah,
that doesn't quite have the flow.
How did you nerd that
something.
up? That was so good, and then you jacked it up. Now it doesn't sound very good.
I mean,
back to the drawing board.
It just doesn't have the flow of like, oh, you've been punked, or something like that.
We felt like in this society in 2019, that was harmful language.
Punked.
You wanted to just be like, oh, you've been pranked by us. You see how it's a little nicer. And you say it not as cruel because you don't want anybody to get hurt feelings and, oh, man, I totally just got punked. And that's, people get upset and then they go through counseling for a long time.
Yeah, they do.
We just got jacked up. Oh, man.
Hey, you call it jacked up.
Well, it could do that. Yeah.
You've been jacked up.
You've been jacked up.
That doesn't sound great either, though.
But you're not listening to Jacked Up. You're not listening to Punked. You're not even listening to Pranks Are Us. You're listening to JJ and Garrett, and you're listening to the Super Gamer Boys.
Heck yeah. How's your week been?
My week has been pretty decent, man. I had a couple of days off, Saturday and Sunday. We had a little men's breakfast at my church, so I got up really early and went and cooked breakfast for all the guys, and I went off diet for the day. It was just going to be for the morning, but once you've gone into it, dude, you just got to give up.
You just got to go. You just
full tilt. Well, I already had biscuits and gravy earlier. Screw it. Let's go ahead and back the Brinks truck up that's full of all those Reese's peanut butter cups. If you can get the funnel ready, I got my mouth open. Let's get it. And for some reason, I did some major damage to my guts by eating biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff, that'll mess you up anyways. Like, you're on a strict diet. You're on the keto diet. But even me, who, I eat garbage anyways, I think if anyone eats biscuits and gravy, it's just an automatic, time out for the day. Red card, you're done. Ejected from life for the day.
And I should have been red carded for the day. The thing is
okay, go to bed now. You're done.
I should have.
Okay.
You eat such trash, dude. And this is the thing that kills me about you and your metabolism. See, I've looked up on Wikipedia. I know all about a metabolism now, based on, the knowledge that I get from the interwebs. So it doesn't make any sense to me that you can eat such trash and you weigh, I'm going to go out on a limb here. You stand, 5'9", 5'10", something like that.
Oh, I'm 6 foot, sir.
That's what I was going to say. 6 foot tall. I say you're a good 6 foot tall.
6'1" on a good day.
Soaking wet with 2 bricks in your pocket, you probably weigh about 130. 130. That's with 2 bricks, and if somebody hosed you down with a garden hose, you're pushing 130.
You are very far off.
I am very accurate. I'm very good at this. I'm like the guy who guesses your weight at the carnival.
Or something, yeah.
That's extremely good at this. I've never been wrong except for that one time, and then I was completely wrong.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer. 137. 2 bricks in your pocket, soaking wet from a garden hose.
You're about 50 pounds off.
You weigh 90 pounds?
I weigh 90 pounds, dude.
Wow. That makes total sense. How much do you weigh?
About 185, 187.
185. 187.
I'm a big boy.
Barely.
I'm one of those big boys.
Yeah, I don't know where you're hiding it, man. Well, I don't want to know now. But it doesn't make any sense. You don't look like you're weighing that much, man.
Well,
I've eaten sandwiches bigger than you do. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. Speaking of sandwiches, if you guys haven't already, if you could go check out our Patreon.
I was going to say, wait, we have sandwiches now?
We could if our listeners went over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. You could support us over there. That would help us keep the lights on, the mics on, and keep the sandwiches rolling in. That would be so great. Man, if we could cater sandwiches when we recorded, that'd be fantastic.
That would be awesome.
Big Subway platter or something. I don't necessarily like Subway because they're crappy sandwiches, but sometimes I do pest control services in a lot of the Subways around here.
We love Subway and they're fantastic.
The second you walk in, they're
no,
meat's horrible or something.
You can't trash talk them when we service their places.
I can trash talk them. They're garbage. I thought that before I serviced them.
Don't say the name of the pest control company.
No, I'm not saying they're dirty or something. They just don't have good food.
Why are you winking at me right now?
But no, there's something about when you walk in there, that smell. I don't know where that smell, because you walk into any other sandwich or sub shop and it doesn't smell like that. I think it's a can that they keep behind the can, the counter or something. They crack a can open and it's just and then it has that Subway stank. And it's but it's a good stink. I always get hungry. The second I smell it, I'm or you walk into a Walmart that has a Subway and you're oh, I could go for a sandwich right now. I don't know why. And then you walk around the corner and see the Subway. You're that's why. I knew it.
I haven't eaten a Subway sandwich in a long time. I don't eat bread. But as I recall, their bread was really crappy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Their bread, their meat, everything is super crappy quality compared to around here we have Togo's and a couple other places that have way fresher ingredients. Deli delicious. But anyways, back to Patreon.
Why are we talking about sandwiches? We should be talking about Patreon.
If you love our podcast, if you love us, if you want our podcast to keep getting bigger and better, bringing you cool stuff on the podcast and YouTube. We are working on some YouTube stuff. We're getting better at it anyways. We're getting there. It's a hard process when you work a full-time job and then basically work another part-time job on top of it. But bear with us. And like I said, the more you support us, the more that definitely incentivizes us to make it more of a priority. Shout out to our Patreon producer, Matt Liu, and our Patreon sponsor, Bill Bird. You guys are killing it. Each and every month you've been, just showing up with those bags and bags of money, the big bank bags that you see in superhero movies that they don't actually really use in real life.
They just have the pictures of the big money symbols. Yeah.
That's what they do every month. They show up. That's how they pay us on, they don't pay us digitally on the website. They actually show up every month at my house and hand me one of those cartoonish bags.
Just a bag like that. You know what? I don't know why this is, but every week when we talk about M-Dog and we talk about Big Bill, I always think of those two men like Scrooge McDuck, diving in and swimming around in huge vaults of gold coins. I don't know why. Okay. That's what I see. That's because those guys, I just think money all the time when I see them. And we would love that help if you guys want to join in. You guys can swim in that vault.
Even if you can only give $1, every little dollar helps. If everyone just gave $1, we'd have a lot more money.
We'd have a lot of dollars.
We'd have a lot of dollars.
But we need to stop talking about Patreon because sometimes people say we talk too much about Patreon.
Yeah, they do.
Those silly people.
Obviously, they don't know us and how greedy we are.
We want to swim in those dang vaults too.
Also, so here's a big dealio for you diehard listeners. I kind of snuck in at the end of the show a couple weeks ago. But I know I look at the analytics on this podcast. There's a lot of you guys who tune out as soon as we start doing the outro. You turn off the podcast and you miss all the good stuff at the end. We tell funny jokes. JJ does like cool tricks.
I talk about the fact that I have a third nipple.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes I do surprise announcements, and so a lot of people are new about a few people knew about this, but this is the official announcement of the Super Gamer Boys merch store.
We have a store?
We have an online storefront selling goods with our faces on it.
Dude. Wait. With both of our faces on it?
Both of our faces on it.
Garrett, I'm pretty good looking. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you're going to really sell so much T-shirts with your face on it.
It's a pretty dang good-looking mug, let me tell you. It's both of our mugs on them. It's the mug.
Oh, the mug. Oh, I saw the mug.
I think I even called it that.
I saw it on the interwebs when you showed it to me earlier, and dude, I really like that a lot. But there's something weird at the prospect of I'm right-handed, so if I was to hold that mug and be drinking coffee, our faces would be looking at my face when I'm about to drink from my face.
And that was on purpose.
That's
crazy.
Why
I called it the SGB Classic Logo Mug.
And it's classic. It's brand new, but it's classic.
It's fantastic. So yeah, go over to if you want to actually find this store, you can either go to supergamerboys.com/store. You can find it over there. That's a real simple URL to remember. Or if you can't remember the /store part, just go to supergamerboys.com and it's at the top. It says store.
There, dude, you've got some really cool items on there, including socks. But the one thing...
We do have socks. We have a mug.
We have female shirts. We have some male shirts. One of the greatest shirts that I saw you put up there, we had a couple of different varieties of some shirts that say it's time for the nerdy nudes.
Yes, sir.
And nudes is spelled NEWDS.
Heck yeah.
And I'll tell you what, those are the kind of shirts that I would want to wear just to watch the uncomfortable people trying to figure out what the heck I've got on.
Oh, totally. That's why I made this shirt. I was like, this is a great conversation piece. You asked me, like, does it have your logo on it? I'm like, no, it doesn't have our logo, but it'll get people asking questions for sure.
Yeah, and it'll get some awkward stares. If you want to get stared at, just like I do every single day, wear one of those nerdy nudes shirts in bright yellow. Talk about gaudy.
Do it. It's good stuff. So yeah, supergamerboys.com/store. Speaking of nerdy nudes, I think it's that time.
It's time for the nerdy nudes. Buy a shirt.
This week we had there's some cool stuff happening. This was
a big week. There was a lot of cool stuff.
I'm excited. So this first one comes from IGN. By Matt Kim over there. GameStop store redesign leaked. So there were some rumors a while back that there'd be possible kind of stores getting remodeled, especially with all GameStop's layoffs, like we talked about last spring. There was a few hundred people got laid off. A few weeks ago, a bunch of people from Game Informer, which is owned by GameStop, they got laid off from their news magazine. And then like a week later, there's 100 or so more layoffs for GameStop. So they're just like laying people off left and right. Like their business is declining quickly. There may or may not be a GameStop by the time the PS5 comes out next year. Like that's what it seems like. We'll see though.
I'm gonna tell you, that's really sad.
It is sad.
I really don't want to hear that because I love having a physical store.
I know it's great. But so in order to combat that, to try to stay relevant, to try to stay in the forefront, and maybe pivot from their current model of the way they're doing things, to try to make more money, they are redesigning some of their stores. There was a video posted on Facebook video recently from a store in Pryor, Oklahoma. Seems like an awfully random place to pick for a store redesign, but it was a video tour by, I imagine, the manager or something. He just walks around with his phone. He took a video of the new layout. And it says a source familiar with GameStop's operation who's requested anonymity has confirmed that the store matches the blueprint layout of the redesigns shown at GameStop's annual conference. So the test store currently in Oklahoma shows the guy walking around. The new store appears to ditch the glossy black and white aesthetic that you typically see of current GameStop locations, and instead the store now sports a more muted gray color with like a faux wood paneling, like there's like on the walls and like the drawers and shelves. So it looks very kind of modern and retro, kind of. It's kind of like a weird like modern retro kind of mix up with like with like the faux wood paneling kind of look, but then like the muted gray tones and stuff makes it look kind of like very like modernist kind of architecture kind of design or something. The store is also, and you can find this video online if you go to this IGN article, search GameStop store redesign leak, and there's a link to the video. The store is also sleeker and more streamlined with cleaner rows of games, as well as a small table for video game apparel and figures. There's also a wall-mounted tablet in the store that customers can order from, as well as a sofa and HD TV located in the middle of the store. So that's kind of the idea. Is like you walk in, there's like the cash registers are in the dead center of the store. It's almost like this little kiosk in the center, like a round counter section where the employees are. With TVs above them that has like the normal stuff, like GameStops have TVs currently, and it usually just has commercials and previews and stuff. Instead of what it looked like, at least in this video, all the games are now in the front of the store. So you walk in, to the left, there's like Xbox One, to the right, there's Switch, and then there's then there's PS4, and then there's like just a little table in the middle with some merch stuff, like little figurines and Funko Pops and T-shirts and stuff. And then you go to the back of the store, and now the back of the store is where kind of like the biggest part of the redesign is happening now. It's a new space filled with CRT TVs, so crappy old tube TVs, and tables used for tabletop games. This would align, this is what the article says, this would align GameStop's previously stated goals of turning stores into event spaces where they could host live tournaments and live events. So basically, they have, in this video they showed it, they had like 4 or 5 big CRT TVs, like big old tube TVs with original Xboxes, Super Nintendos, PlayStation 2s, like all hooked up, like retro games. And then, a couple like empty tables in the center for people to show up and play, I don't know, trading card games like Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, or if they want to play board games, whatever they want to do, like D&D, like they can show up and use it more of like a hangout space. And then on the wall, there's even like coolers with drinks and sodas and chips and snacks and refreshments. So they're making it more than just a game store. It's like a game hangout space. So
I got to tell you, when you first started talking about it, I'll tell you what was going through my mind. I was thinking, that's not what the store needs. They don't need you changing some decorations around the place and changing the color scheme is not going to bring a bunch of people into the place. You doing a little paint displayed differently is not going to change anything. You're not going to get people to want to go to the store to all of a sudden want to spend money.
Right.
But then in listening to what you were saying right now, the way you were laying out, making it a destination spot, doing events, doing things.
It's now a place where like kids after school go and hang out and play games and stuff like that instead of going home and doing homework.
I gotta say, that's actually really smart. Now, I don't know how it's going to work in theory, but the idea behind it is actually pretty great.
Yeah.
Why not make it in? I'll tell you what, when you go, maybe you experience the same thing. When I go to a GameStop, I go and enjoy the whole atmosphere of being around other gamers, looking at new games, looking at some discounted used games and systems, talking to the guys who have some firsthand knowledge about games and stuff like that. But there's been some really great, fun conversations when the guys that work there share, oh my gosh, you have to play this game. You're going to love this game. Or, I didn't really care for that game. Try this one. I think you'll like the insight, the back and forth, the dialogue. So if you make it a place that people want to hang out with, that's the part that I like, is the going and talking, the relationship. And to quote some Hideo Kojima stuff, in a world where we are so disconnected from ourselves and we're so connected into our phones and into pulling into ourselves more than we ever have before as a society, it's pretty cool to open up and say, hey, let's do something in these little storefronts where gamers can kind of come together, whether it's watching people play some old retro games or getting in on little throwdown tournament challenges, maybe doing some, oh my gosh, God forgive me, playing little tabletop Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Oh, that just tasted dirty coming out of my mouth. No, but do you know what I mean? That sounds pretty cool. Yeah. So I like I like where their heads at. You're doing pretty good, GameStop. Keep up with it.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board with this. They are planning to, it says the redesign is, their plan is to focus on live events, retro games, and esports. So they're going to start doing tournaments, like video game tournaments. Both, I imagine if they're doing esports, it's going to be modern and maybe doing some retro stuff. Live events, I'm sure they're going to host some like tabletop gaming tournaments and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe they'll have like celebrities in to sign stuff or something. Like now that they have like a social space, like they can do stuff like that.
Have a social space like that. Have them do things where, hey, we're having a Super Mario Brothers 3 tournament today, and the winner gets to take home an original NES, or gets to take home an NES Classic, or what. I mean, like have little things like that will bring people in, and then hey, while they're there, maybe they're going to buy enough sodas and drinks and games or systems because they've been hanging out and having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, making it more about the relationship building because, that'll make a huge difference. Like if it's more like a bonding experience, like not only just with their friends, but even like getting to know the employees there and like, hey, like, man, like, oh, I think you'd really like this. Like, check this out. As the employees get to know the regulars and stuff. And like people are more willing to buy things when like their buddy is like, hey, check this out kind of thing. So I don't know. Could be good for GameStop. It could be really bad. They could spend a lot of money to do these redesigns and it doesn't work out, but I guess we'll find out in the next year or so what happens. The next news story here, just real quick. There's not really much news. It just kind of came out just not too long ago, really in the last couple days. WB Montreal, and this isn't coming from any news story. This is straight up off of my noggin here. WB Montreal put out a tweet September 22nd. WB Games MTL is proud to celebrate Batman's 80th anniversary with the rest of the world during #Batman Day, #Batman80. They put out a 30-second clip on Twitter of I think it's the side of their building. They had a big spotlight on there with the bat symbol, which is like, oh, cool, that's awesome. And then every like 10 seconds in the video, there was randomly little glitches and it like images would flash like really faintly. It's like, that's weird. A lot of people are freaking out like, oh no, like, oh man, this is awesome. Is this like a new game? They're announcing a new game. What's happening? What do these symbols mean? Well, just as of 9 hours ago, they put out a tweet. So we're recording Monday, 23rd, 7:28 p.m., 9 hours ago. They put out a tweet that says, "Capture the Night," spelled KNIGHT. And then it says the same thing in French because, they're from Montreal. Oui. And they put out a 5-second video that has those same symbols, but much clearer. And again, people are freaking out. Oh my gosh, it's a new Batman game. And the speculation is that it might be connected to the Court of Owls, because there was another tweet. Let me find this. I am doing this all on the fly here. By Scott Snyder, who is, I will bring up his Twitter here. He put out a tweet, though. He retweeted the original, whatchamacallit, the video that they posted on the 22nd with the big bat symbol on the building. And it says, wait for it, ... #Beware the Court of Owls. Scott Snyder is a comic writer. He writes comics. He does Justice League, DC Metal, American Vampire, The Wake, Witches, AD, Severed. So he does some of the bigger comics out there. And I think he's been connected to the Batman Arkham games in the past. So people are losing their mind right now. There's no news as of yet, but there's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors.
And how quickly did Scott Snyder's tweet get deleted?
That's the thing. Yeah, he tweeted that, and then quickly, I don't know a time frame, but it was pretty quick. He took that crap down. Someone happened to get a screenshot of it, though. That's how we know it exists, because someone took a screenshot of it. So people are freaking out. WB Montreal, they're coming out with a new Batman game. This is all rumors so far, but this is what people are thinking. They're coming out. They're going to make the same people who made Batman Arkham Origins are going to do a new Batman game, and it's going to be based off the Court of Owls.
So I don't know much about it. Batman Origins, I realized that Montreal ended up putting that game out third in the place of those 4 iconic Arkham games. 2 of them, the first 2 were done by Rocksteady, and then
the first 2 and the last one.
And then the fourth one, Arkham Knight, was also done by Rocksteady.
Yes.
So in the midst of this is the third game that came out, and it was done by Montreal. And so, as I recall, was that game very big? I didn't really hear much about it.
So when it first came out, it got a lot of hate because Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were such like, I don't know, they were just such monumental games. Like they were kind of like the first good superhero games and like ever. And so people are just kind of losing their minds. So then when Arkham Origins came out and WB Montreal changed things here and there, like I think I never played Origins. I played all the other 3 from Rocksteady, but I believe they changed some fighting mechanics and different like stuff like that. So it just felt a little different, felt a little off. But I heard the story was still really good. It actually got like a 76 or 77 on Metacritic, that's still a great game. Like, it's fantastic.
It was a 76 on Metacritic, and then the first 2
were like in the 90s. Yeah, one was
like
95, and one was like 96 or something. They were high 90s, and then the fourth one got like an 84 or something like that. So it got great reviews, but I think it was one of those things where like in the moment people like really hated on it. But even recently, people have looked back and been like, "Oh, we were a little harsh on that. It wasn't that bad of a game."
So I'm not sure. Have Montreal come out with any games as of late? Anything that they've been attached to in the PS4 era?
Well, WB Montreal, that's a good question. I'm doing this research on the fly here for you.
And we appreciate it.
I'll just say no, not that I know of. Like, I don't think they've really come out with much.
Nothing of note.
Well, but yeah.
So what's your opinion? You think they're going to come out with something new? You think this is like a brand new Batman game that we could be seeing come to PS4 or potentially PS5?
Oh no, I think that's exactly what it is. Obviously, it's still just speculation at this point. Everyone keeps saying on Twitter, like, calm down, like nothing's confirmed, nothing's happening. But dude, like a Batman story, Court of Owls story, like that would just be so amazing. Like I'm really excited for this. It'll be cool. I'm not, as we kind of figured out last week when Zetch came on, I'm not necessarily a comic book guy, but my experience with Court of Owls is very light. Like I don't know a ton about them because I didn't read I haven't read super heavily in the comics, just here and there randomly where they pop up. And then even in, I actually thought their role in the TV show Gotham was kind of interesting too. They popped up for a little bit and then kind of disappeared, which is kind of what they do. They pop up. They're like a secret society, and then, they kind of run the city. And if you oppose them, they just kill you. They get rid of you. No one knows you're missing, kind of thing. Man, it'd be such a cool game, I think. So I think that's what it's going to be. It kind of leads into our next story. It's interesting that tomorrow as a recording, it'll be yesterday as of the day this episode comes out. So I feel bad that we can't actually talk about what they're going to reveal. September 24th, there is going to be a PlayStation State of Play, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So if you are listening to this today and you've already watched it, sorry, we can't give you our impressions on it. If you're listening to this today and you have not watched it, go watch it. It's probably on YouTube now.
And if you want to just wait until next week,
we'll probably talk about it then.
We'll talk about it next week.
But yeah, this is coming from the PlayStation blog, PlayStation.blog. Sid Schumann, the director of social media, he posts on there. It says, "Hi all, excited to share first details on PlayStation." So this is directly from, PlayStation headquarters in San Mateo here in the Bay Area. "Excited to share first details on PlayStation's next State of Play, which will air Tuesday, September 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're preparing a pretty hefty show, weighing in around 20 minutes and sporting a fresh new look. And we'll have some great news to share with you, including new game reveals, which I think that'll be the Batman game. Maybe. We'll see. New content from PlayStation's Worldwide Studios, which we now know what that is. Originally, we didn't know what that is, but that'll be the next news piece that we're going to hit. And then a host of other updates. Should be fun. Oh, and it probably bears mentioning, don't expect any updates related to our next-gen plans on the console. So don't expect anything about PS5. So here's the next news story. Going off of that new content from PlayStation's Worldwide Studios. Man, I like this triple threat here. Batman into the State of Play, now into Naughty Dog has teased a big Last of Us Part 2 reveal.
This is it, Garrett. This is it.
Yeah, right? So on Twitter, man, yeah, everyone's using Twitter now. I cannot talk. Everyone's using Twitter nowadays. But starting on the 21st, they started posting these little vignettes. It's just a black background, and in the foreground, the first one is a hammer, and it has the quote, "Watch your backs." The next one is a bracelet, and it says, in quotes, "They should be terrified of you." The next one is a watch, and in quotations, it says, "You're really going to go through with this." And then the last one was a switchblade. Actually, I think the switchblade was the first one. It came out the 20th. Yeah, September 20th. The first one was, "I'm going to find and I'm going to kill every last one of them." It's a picture of a switchblade. And at the bottom of each one of those little pictures, it says, "State of Play, September 24th, 2019, 1 p.m. Pacific time."
Oh, my gosh.
Dude, I got chills. I just got chills like when I read this article earlier and saw all those tweets. I saw all these tweets over the weekend and like towards the end of last week, and I was like, I wonder what this is. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh shoot, State of Play.
It's been highly hypothesized by quite a bit of people that it might potentially be a release date. And so I know I'm trying not to get my hopes up. I'm trying not to hold my breath, but I'll tell you what, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that The Last of Us was one of the greatest video games of all time.
Oh, yeah, easy.
It's such an unbelievably great game.
I need to replay through it. It's been, I played it back on PS3 and beat it, but then since then I haven't touched it. I even bought, like I don't know why, I bought the remaster for PS4. I was like, yeah, I'm going to play it, and then I just never touched it. So now I have it. Like I definitely just need to download and play through it.
Don't you also have it on PS Plus? It was a PS Plus game last year, I think.
It might have been, but I mean, I bought it when I first bought my PS4. It was like the day I brought home my PS4, I bought that game. Well, it was just like, this is the best game ever, like you said. Like it's a must-have, whether you're going to play it or not. You have to own it,
yeah,
and you should play it.
I would say with Last of Us and Red Dead Redemption 2, for me, those are my two favorite games I've ever played. And really? I think Last of Us is the best game I've ever played. Red Dead was great. It was fantastic. I know you didn't get to play it because you're a fake gamer.
It was okay. It was all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so people are freaking out. All the rumors, on the Twitter sphere, people are thinking we're going to get a release date. And people are thinking it'll be February 28th is the exact date. I don't know if it'll be that exact date, but sometime in February is what people are thinking. Just based off of, I don't know, there's two things. That's around the time when Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017. And then also, we're at the point now where Death Stranding is going to be coming out soon. And if that game comes out and we don't have the next release date for the next PlayStation exclusive game, like people are going to start getting antsy. They're going to start losing interest. Like they're going to start falling off the bandwagon here. Like Sony needs to give us something. They need to feed us, shoot something into our veins here to kind of some shot of adrenaline to keep us going.
I thought you meant heroin. For just a second, I'm like, why are they shooting us up with dope? What's wrong with you, Garrett?
No, I do that between my toes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that's exactly what this is. It's going to be a release date.
And you're getting a call from Grammy after this airs. Garrett, are you doing the smack between your toes?
I do not do smack.
Well, honey, that's what Grammy heard.
But no, I think it'll be release date, and I think it has to be that soon. It has to be spring of next year. I know, like, I think originally, like, a while back, I think I, on the show, had estimated it'll probably be, like, more like a fall release. But I don't know, thinking about it now, like, they haven't, there's no other PlayStation exclusives to fill the first half of the year. Like, they have to give us something the first half of the year. I guess my thought before was going to be that we would hear something about Ghost of Tsushima. We still have not heard anything about that game. I think it's Ghost of Tsushima has been completely...
it's been kind of quiet lately. There hasn't been any new news coming out. But who knows? With that State of Play tomorrow, with PlayStation's new State of Play, it very well could be that that's coming out as well.
I don't think it is. Like
everything's coming out.
They don't want to take any power away from Last of Us 2.
Everything's coming out at the same time. Watch, they're just going to mass
I take that back.
Games.
Ghost of Tsushima wouldn't take anything away from Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 would overtake Ghost of Tsushima. Like, if they announced both of those things, like, people wouldn't give any craps about Ghost of Tsushima.
And that's kind of what happened when Red Dead came out. I can't remember. There was another game that came out around the same time.
Assassin's Creed or Odyssey came out, like, I think the same week or something, or like a week before or something.
As I recall, it was a situation where one of them came out at the same time as Red Dead or near Red Dead, and Red Dead just decimated everything. I can't remember if it was Assassin's Creed or not, but I know that they try to parcel things out so it's not all coming at once.
Yeah. So having things spread out. So I think it'll be a release date for Last of Us 2, and I think it'll be that spring is what we're shooting for, because it's too late this year. Like they don't want to cannibalize Death Stranding sales, and if they release it in December, it's too late for to be what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Eligible for Game Awards. If anything comes out like after a certain date in December, most of the time it doesn't get picked up for Game Awards. So I think they definitely go for next year and just go for 2019 game or 2020 Game Awards. That's crazy. Next year is 2020. Is that insane? Cool. The next news story here comes from Variety by Lorraine Wheat. It's actually just Wheat, but I like to pronounce it funny. Did you ever see that movie Hot Rod Whiskey?
No.
Oh, Hot Rod's so good. As
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg in it and his whole crew, the Lonely Island guys. It's so stinking funny. Like,
that's so funny. I was just making my buddy and I were just watching music videos, and I was like, "You never seen Lonely Island?" And I was doing a lot of the great Justin Timberlake, Andy Samberg stuff, and there's some great stuff out there, man.
They're so hilarious. I love those guys. But yeah, there's a part in there where he's like, okay, the safe word's whiskey, or the safe word's whiskey. What? What's the safe word? Whiskey. Like, why do you say it that way? Say what? He does a whole, like, all of a sudden he starts talking funny. It's so good. But go watch that movie. I think it was on Netflix. This news story, though, comes from Variety. It's James Gunn confirms full cast for the Suicide Squad movie. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah. And that's a huge list of people that have been announced. But the one glowing name that I see in there, and I know what you're thinking, I'm going to say it, Margot Robbie. She's returning as Harley Quinn.
You have a sick fascination with her. I don't understand it.
Well, I was going to say John Cena, but then I thought you were like, well, because he's a wrestling guy. He's actually a fine actor.
No, he's great. Have you seen Daddy's Home 2?
Daddy's Home 2 is amazing.
It's a garbage movie, but
John
it's
Lithgow
hilarious.
stole the show from me.
But no, over on Twitter, once again, basically I just get all my news from Twitter because that's where all the cool stuff happens. CJD, you got to get over on Twitter. All the fun stuff happens over there.
I do that.
Yeah, no, you don't. So James Gunn on Twitter, he puts out a tweet that said, "Don't get too attached. # the Suicide Squad," which is kind of cool. So it's not going to be Suicide Squad 2. They're just calling it the Suicide Squad.
They added the or the.
Yeah. And originally I thought I had read somewhere it was supposed to be like a soft reboot, but then I was talking with you earlier. I'm like, it's interesting, even though it's a reboot, they're still keeping some of the same characters. Like Jai Courtney's returning as Boomerang. Margot Robbie's returning as what's her name, Harley Quinn. There.
So, are any of the existing characters from Suicide Squad being recast in this?
Yeah.
The Suicide. Okay.
Yeah. So, let's see if it. So Deadshot. So Will Smith is not coming back to play Deadshot. Idris Elba is going to be playing Deadshot, which is going to be awesome. Let's see. There's a few more in here that they're revealing. They don't really mention it in the article, but the list is as follows here. So it's a really cool image too. It just has everyone's names like bullets like sprayed through them. So David Dastmalchian. I don't know his name.
I love it when you pronounce names.
John Cena. Ba-ba-da-ba. Jai Courtney, Joaquin Cosio, Nathan Fillion, he's pretty dope. Joel Kinnaman, Mei Ling Ing, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn. I think it's so cool. Like James Gunn always has his brother in like all of his movies. That's so cool. Awesome. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, they're also bringing over Michael Rooker.
Yes,
which is awesome.
You might know him as Merle from The Walking Dead.
Heck yeah. And then speaking of Marvel, talking about, here's my branching path, Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Marvel, Taika Waititi is going to be in it. So he played Korg in Thor Ragnarok, and he directed Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that's cool, bro.
He played like the best character.
I loved that character.
He was my favorite.
For such a little side ancillary character, like that, it so stands out tremendously.
Yeah. I'm looking on IMDb. I'm curious if it says who everyone's going to be playing. John Cena is going to be playing Peacemaker. That David Dastmalchian is going to play Polka Dot Man. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. Joel Kinnaman is Rick Flag. No one else has really been cast. But anyways, let me continue with the list here. Sean Gunn, Juan Diego Botto, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, Taika Waititi, Alice Braga, Steve Agee, Tanash Kajis, Daniela Malquire. Man, these names are getting real hard to pronounce. Peter Capaldi, Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, Michael Rooker. At the bottom, it says The Suicide Squad. I'm so stoked for this. I
am stoked for it too. I actually like the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. I know that it got a lot of hate, but Harley Quinn was like amazing.
She wasn't. Though.
She was amazing.
She wasn't.
You don't know good films, son. Okay. You just don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying Margot Robbie. She's a good actor, but in this movie, like everything else, I feel like I don't know. She did the best she could, but everything else soured her. She
looked good,
but even then, not really.
No, Garrett, let's look. You're a red-blooded American male. I'm a red-blooded American male. I'm a real, true American who finishes games. So I think that we're having a little bit of disagreement right now. I don't think you understand. She's like ridiculously amazing looking.
Margot Robbie is, yeah.
She's amazing.
She looks great.
She's amazing.
But I don't have a thing for weird, psychotic Harley Quinn characters.
I love crazy chicks. This is like a whole thing. Like,
what you base your life off of.
Pretty dang much.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just super stoked. I think James Gunn is so awesome. Like he goes and gets fired from Disney because he had a bad tweet from like 15 years ago. What does he do? He goes to DC, picks up the Suicide Squad. And then what does he do next? He pulls a bunch of Marvel characters and says, hey, come over to work on my DC movie. And then what does he do next? He beats Disney and gets hired back on to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's like, oh man, this guy kicks butt. Like, you are so cool.
And because of James Gunn, that's the reason I never post on Twitter. Yeah. Because I don't want 15 or 20 years from now the Super Gamer Boys to be dominating the world. And then all of a sudden, JJ...
I have to fire JJ because of some bad tweet.
Where you made voices for other countries and they were considered racist or misogynistic or just borderline bad. I just never want to deal with that. So that's why I don't tweet.
Yeah, it's probably for the better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked for this. I can't wait. The next installment will be released August 6th, 2021. So we have to have 2 years to wait still. It's too far away, man. Okay. Wow, that is all we had for news. Let's get into new releases here. This last week, let me look at the dates here. We had Devil May Cry 2 on Switch, Puzzle Quest: The Legend Returns on Switch. Oh, here's a huge one. And I'm so sad I can't play this game. It's just not in the budget this month. I was literally like begging Trudy. I'm like, please let me get this game, please. Like I was crying, and she's just like, nope. The budget says no. The app, the app says no.
She's hardcore.
Our budgeting app. But Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening came out September 20th. It's a remake of the Game Boy game from like 20 years ago. They totally remade it, and it looks so amazing. Like they totally upgraded the graphics. I don't know. It looks beautiful. Everyone's saying it plays beautiful. Like it's such a fun game. People already say it's like one of the top Zelda games like out there. It's a lot of people's favorite Zelda game, period. And so I never played the original. I want to play this one. So support us on Patreon so I can go play this and give you guys a good review, because I want to be able to review it for the podcast. And it's like, no, not this month. Let's see. Untitled Goose Game came out on PC and Switch September 20th. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 Enhanced Editions came out on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on the 24th. That's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that, actually. That comes out tomorrow. Huh. Unfortunately, that's not in the budget either. But Contra Rogue Core, PS4, Xbox One, PC, Switch. Dead by Daylight. Interesting. It's coming out on Switch tomorrow as well, or yesterday, as of when you guys hear this. The Surge 2 comes out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch on the 24th. And that about wraps it up. So yeah, go check out some of those games, especially Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, because everyone's just raving about it online. Like, that is how amazing it is. I don't think I ever showed you a trailer of it. I need to show it to you. I think you think it's pretty cool. I
would probably think it's pretty cool, because I think everything that you think is cool is cool.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm cool.
Oh,
without
question.
Everything that I think is cool because I'm cool.
Except for Solid Snake.
Dude, Solid Snake's the coolest. I even got this little amiibo. So I pre-ordered the new amiibos.
It's an action figure.
It's not action figure.
You have a doll of Solid Snake.
No. Action figures are posable. You know, they have joints and stuff.
Okay, so that's a doll.
Dolls are soft and cuddly. They usually have like hair or something. Or
you trying to tell me you're not going to sleep with this?
This is an amiibo. It has technology in it. You can scan it. I can scan it with my Switch.
My doll is a smart doll. Garrett plays with dolls.
But I got the new Solid Snake amiibo. I'm so excited.
It's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty dope.
He's got like a 3-inch amiibo here, so it's actually really great.
So it's the Solid Snake from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it's a little different from like the original Metal Gear Solid version, but it's pretty close.
It's pretty awesome.
So I'm excited. It looks pretty sweet. It'll look sweet on our little shelf in here once I actually put the shelf up.
yeah, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, hopefully. Alrighty. What have you been playing?
I have been playing nothing again.
Jeez, JJ.
Yeah, I'll tell you
That's why I'm going to fire you, because you don't ever play any games.
I never get to play any games.
It's literally your job to play games, and you still won't do it.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, isn't it? You know what? It just didn't work for me this week. I didn't have any. I sat down a couple of times getting ready to, and just things got in the way. I had a moment where I was going to play some video games on Saturday for just a little bit, and I wasn't feeling well, and I just said, I don't want to have to think. It's kind of easier right now just to veg out. So I just watched a little bit of a car show. I'm not a car person.
car restoration shows are great.
They are amazing.
Like they just suck you in.
So I started
so good.
watching a couple of different restoration shows, but one was called Rest to Riches.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is fantastic. I binged the whole series, and it's got 8 episodes, and it's unbelievable. They're just amazing. They're doing their restoration work in Temecula, California. So,
okay.
Unbelievable how they take these cars and soup them up and just make them amazing and make them so unique and totally gorgeous, and then sell them for crazy amounts of money.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites when I was a kid, growing up, I think it was on to like Discovery or TLC or something like that. I don't remember. Is called Overhauling. And what it was is people would submit to the show like, hey, my husband or my wife or my friend or my whatever, this special person in my life really loves this car. They've always planned on like renovate, what's the word? I can't, restoring it. Mm-hmm. They've always planned on restoring it, getting it back up to like peak, beautiful, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And like, this is like what they would like it to look like. And what they do is like, so if you had a car that you liked, I would submit and be like, hey, JJ wants to fix this. This is what he wants it to look like. This is his dream. And they would do this whole thing where they basically steal the car. So they don't tell, like you wouldn't know about it. One day this car would be gone. And then they get in on it with the police and everything. Like, so they're filing like fake police reports to make, like, the person doesn't realize it, but it's like a whole game they're playing with them where the person thinks it gets stolen or that it's broke down in the shop or something, like, oh, sorry, you can't see your car right now or whatever, or it's like impounded. And then after a week, they have 1 week. Is it 1 week or is it just a couple days? I don't know. I forget what it was. But they do exactly, they basically take this piece of crap car and make it their dream car, like what they always wanted. And then they reveal it to them. And they I love how they like check in with the guy every once in a while, like, but they're all in like costume and stuff and like acting like as if they're a police officer or they're pretending they're whatever. So I stopped by, I wanted to get some more information, like, check out the door and like see how maybe the person broke into your garage or like take like fake evidence and stuff.
That's amazing.
And then at the end, they're like, okay, like I think we found the guy. We're gonna have you confront him and stuff, and we already have him locked up. We just want to confirm if you know this guy or if you know, like, they always had some weird scenario. And then they walk in the shop and it's like the guy's wife would be there and be like, surprise, and it's like his car like went from like complete rust bucket to like this beautiful, all painted up and awesome inside. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid.
That
it was
actually
like,
sounds really fun.
It wasn't just a restoration show. Like they were on a time crunch. Like they only had a couple days, and then it was like all the cool thing of like basically like the wife and like everyone was like lying to this husband and like tricking him and then like surprising him with this sweet car. So yeah, check that one out if you can find it anywhere. Overhauling. That's a good one.
Okay, I will totally check that out.
That's my car restoration suggestion of the week.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pick of the week.
I don't know what it is why I started watching the car thing. It was just sitting there. I looked at it and I thought, I kind of want to check that out. Never been into cars. I have no idea how to even change the oil.
Oh, really?
It's not.
What?
I do. I'm just kidding. But it's
do
not.
You though?
No, I really don't. So, but I say that only because I'm not mechanical in any way. But I'll tell you what, there is a guttural part of me, inside of me, that is like, I want to do that. I want to take an old classic car and work on it. And I can always watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. But I would love to do it with my son. My son is 8 years old right now. And it would be amazing to me to learn on the fly and do it with him. So when he's 16,
hey son, this is how you fixed a motor thing. You take a bing, bing, bong,
yeah.
bing, dong, ding.
You
You're just
no
like
idea.
hammering on the engine.
I'm gonna hammer my thumb. Oh my gosh!
This is how you fix a headlight. Sledgehammer. Yep, perfect. Fixed it.
Pretty dang
go
much.
Go hand me the blinker fluid.
Yeah, pretty dang much. And then I saw the show. I'd been thinking, gosh, that'd be so much fun to do that with my son, to have like a project car. And then I went to a house and was doing pest control earlier at the end of last week, and I saw there was a project car in the garage, and I asked the son, hey, what's up with that car? And he says, that's a project car that my dad and I are going to be working on so I can have it when I turn 16 in a couple of years. And I was like, man, I really want to do that with my boy. That'd be so cool
Yeah.
to be able to do that, But again, I have no idea. I probably am going to put the chairs in the wrong spot and like the wheel's going to be in the back seat.
Put the steering wheel on upside down.
You know what? If it could be done, I could do it. I'm just saying.
I don't think it'd make that much of a difference, but.
Yeah, right. Probably.
Cool. Well, I mean, I guess that's cool. You didn't do your homework, but whatever. You're lucky I'm not your teacher.
Yeah.
Just your boss?
Huh?
No, I'm not your boss.
How's that work? Do I get a paycheck?
Because I have 51% stake in this company.
Wait, no, I have 51. I don't think you do math very well, Gary. I just told you.
Let me do the numbers real quick here.
Oh no, his brain is starting to smoke.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
I actually have 51.5%.
Oh, because of all your editing prowess or whatever. Yeah. Darn it. All right.
Actually, I didn't even calculate that in. So
wait!
Actually, I probably have like a 98%.
Okay, pretty much
stake in this company.
But I have 2%, so that means
a real funny 2%.
Yeah, well,
some say that's the best 2%.
Well, it's like 2% milk.
Yeah,
it curdles when it's outside. I'm saying.
I've been playing Borderlands 3. I didn't get to play a ton either. I was busy. I was hanging out with my son all day Saturday. My wife was out doing fun things most of the day. And so I was home with him.
You sounded so bitter.
I
was there with the boy while she was out partying and gallivanting.
No, she was out hanging out with friends, doing cool stuff. And then, I was just home playing with him. So I didn't really get to play much on Saturday until even Saturday night. I ended up working on store stuff. So you're welcome. supergamerboys.com/store. Designed 3 new t-shirts.
Get that sweet mug. You can look at my face while you're drinking.
Yep. And, but I did play Friday night, and I also played Sunday afternoon some Borderlands 3. Oh, man, that game is so good. I'm loving it so much. It was fun co-op, but I've actually been playing single player now because this schedule hasn't lined up with my buddy to play co-op. And even single player, it's been a blast. Like, I just love, I don't know, the humor in that game. A lot of people hate the humor because it's like so childish, but I just love it so much. There's like a bunch of like dick and fart jokes and stuff, and it's just so stupid. That's what it is. It's like really stupid humor.
Why does this sound perfectly good humor to me? That sounds like the best kind of humor.
And like the mechanics are just so fun. Like, it's just like, kill stuff, collect loot, run to the next area, kill stuff, collect the loot, run to the next area. Like, it's just that over and over and over again with like these really funny, stupid story beats that are just ridiculous. So I'm having a blast at Borderlands 3. I highly recommend picking that up. Even with I know they have some performance issues at this point. They said they're going to be patching that out though later this week is what I heard. But go check out Borderlands 3. And if you want to play with me, I'm on PC. My Epic game name is Breaking Prime, all one word. And I know they're going to be adding crossplay soon. At least that was kind of like a rumor back, not even a rumor. Randy Pitchford, the main dude from Gearbox, he was talking back in the day. They want to add that. So who knows? Maybe they'll have some crossplay and I can play with all you PS4 and Xbox One folks soon. But until then, if you have it on PC, hit me up. The other thing I've been playing is, so last week my buddy Keith randomly hit me up. He's like, hey dude, my mom was going through like an old storage container, storage unit, and found an old box of mine from back in the day, and it has some of my old gaming stuff in it. I was wondering if you want it. I'm like, yes, of course. Like, do you know who I am?
I'm a super gamer boy.
Do you know what I do in my spare time? So he's like, I was looking through the box, and just come check it out. I'll drop it off, and you can have it. You can have it all. So I grabbed it, popped the box open. There was 2 PlayStation 1s in there, 4 controllers, I think there's like 6 games. None of them were really great. So the 2 I ended up playing, there was a Dukes of Hazzard game, which I remember playing when I was a kid. It was a terrible game, like super crappy, but it was like fun to just be so like, is this a nostalgia? As soon as I fired it up, I'm like, I remember this mission. I know exactly what to do here. Like the muscle memory just kicked in. and Disney's Tarzan. I also had that game as a kid too. It was funny. I'm like, I finished a level, and then like the next level was starting up. I'm like, oh no, this level sucks so bad. And Trudy's like, you remember this? I'm like, yeah. I mean, this was my entire childhood. It was like I just played video games all the time. I didn't have friends. Like I just played PlayStation all the time. I played the crap out of Tarzan. Like it was a hard freaking game. I never beat it. It was so hard. But this level was the worst of all.
And that's what started the whole thing with you never beating video games.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're too hard. Not worth it.
So you're telling me that you have the opportunity to break out this original PS1.
Yeah.
Working out of the box. You're playing some games on it, and you don't play Metal Gear Solid. You have the case sitting literally a foot from me right now, man.
And that's the problem, is it was here in the studio and not at home. And I did not have a way to get to the studio to get the game because my wife had the car.
What?
And I can't.
You're like 5 minutes away.
I'm not going to throw my son in the back of my work van. He's like not even 2. He's like 1.5, 2 years old.
He'd be fine. He'd bounce around in there. He's not going to fall out.
No, I guess not. Roll around some of the chemicals back there.
Dude, he'd be fine.
So yeah, I was dying though. I'm like, I have this PlayStation 1 and I can't play Metal Gear because it's here in the studio. So I'm taking that home. Definitely. Like that's going home with me. Like it's not staying here in the studio, that's for sure. But yeah, it was just so much fun. I'm a very nostalgic gamer. Like, to be honest, there's a lot of times where I would much rather, like in my head anyways, like hypothetically, I'm like, I'd much rather be playing Metal Gear Solid on PS1, or give me like an old Spyro game on PS1, or Super Mario World on like the Super Nintendo, or whatever it is. Like, I just love old like games that I grew up with. Like I just have such a, I don't know, my brain just tied so much significance to those things at like different points in my life. Like I can remember certain memories that happened at those times and like when I got those games, and I just love that. Like I love re-experiencing that. So I don't know, I'm a sucker for old stuff just for that. So it was so much fun opening up that box, and even just like, yeah, feeling the controller in your hand, or like pressing the open button and like the disc tray opening up. And like the sounds the PlayStation made. Oh, when I first turned it on with my, I have a big sound bar, like a subwoofer. So to hear that PlayStation sound, like, you know, in surround sound, I'm like, oh man, like that's so good. Like it was like my childhood times like 100. It was so good.
You know what I wish you would have been able to find in that box? A PS2. Because there is backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
with
no,
that
would have been nice. But
and
beggars can't be
no,
choosers
either. Of course. I just feel like that's one of the best systems of all time. And there's
ideally, I still would like to get a PS2 because I have a copy of Metal Gear Solid 2 here for PS2, and I'd love to be able to play that. But yeah, until then.
You know, and the sad thing is we had a PS2, and before I got into gaming, maybe a year before I got into gaming, we gave away. Didn't have any idea there was any money in it. So, yeah.
Man.
Never said I was bright. I'm funny.
Yeah. Amen. But yeah, so that was my weekend, is Borderlands 3 and PS1 games. It's been a good weekend.
It sounds like it.
Alrighty. What do you say we call our premier Fortnite expert up on the phone and see if he can give us a Fortnite report? Does that sound good to you?
It sounds like a plan.
Alrighty, let's give him a call. Hello? Hello, are you there?
Hi.
Hey, is this Lee?
Yeah.
Is our premier Fortnite expert here?
Yep.
Okay, man. What do you have for us?
One of the things is Season 10.
Okay, it's Season 10 right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we got some new stuff. What are some of the new things that they've thrown into Season 10?
One of the things is overpowered mechs.
Okay.
Annoying as heck.
Wait a second. So now you guys get to ride around in mechs? And they're overpowered?
Robots.
Robots,
But
okay.
finally, Epic finally hecking nerfed them. Finally.
Wait, okay.
Like 2 weeks in. Finally.
Okay, so you say the word heckin' like it's a verb. Do you know what a verb is? Okay, you use it like an action where you're like, and then the heckin'. And so I think you might be using it incorrectly. I think it's meant to be a swear. So here's the thing. So right now, season 10, Fortnite, you're a couple of weeks away. I think it's a little more than 2 weeks away from being season 11. Season 10 right now has been known for things like these mechs. They're super overpowered. And there's no sword this season, is there?
No.
The Infinity Sword, that stuff's gone?
That was from season 7. We're talking about season 10.
Where have I been?
Okay. So we have mechs. What else is there, season 10?
There's also like these big bubbles that like sometimes there's like crossovers.
Okay.
From like there's like a Batman crossover. That's been happening this new week.
Oh yeah, this last weekend.
There's like a Batman crossover.
I saw that because, and the reason I saw this is because you showed it to me, because he was telling me, Dad, we need to put $20 into the bank so we can get this heckin' skin.
Batman skin.
Yeah, man, Batman's a cool superhero. Of course, you got to play as Batman in Fortnite.
Well, of course,
it's $20, but I finally worked on my.
Did you get the Catwoman skin?
No,
that's where it's at, right there.
Catwoman skin.
I gotta tell you, Catwoman looked pretty good. This is a pretty cool skin. No, it was cool. I want to play with
Mom, you better not be listening to this.
That's okay. She doesn't listen to the podcast.
She was just yesterday.
What?
I mean, today.
She was listening today?
Oh, no.
Okay,
JJ.
you have to tell me.
She was listening to the one where you said, where you said, Janet, don't listen to this.
Oh, no.
That was like last week's podcast.
Okay, to be honest, that's like every episode.
Yeah. Okay, you need to like go and turn the podcast off whenever you hear her listening to it. Just go over and like click the button and say, Mom, you can't hear it. No, turn it off. Okay, so now, okay, dude, I'm gonna have to school you, son. You gotta help Dad out. You gotta be my eyes in the inside. You know what I mean? Okay, so one of the things is I know that Batman is the big new skin this week, and I know that we were talking about getting you that skin. What are some of the new things that are going on inside of is there any new weapons that are big this season?
So like, there's a Batman grapple gun.
What?
And batarangs that are explosive.
That's awesome. Dude, I might play Fortnite just for Batman. I might play that trash game just for Batman.
And one of the big memes that is happening on YouTube, people are throwing batarangs onto mechs or hoverboards. And they are running into people, exploding themselves, but getting the kill.
Ah, so they're just like
They're throwing the
kamikaze into
batarangs onto the thing.
I had a case of explosive batarangs after the men's breakfast this past Saturday, but I'm feeling much better now. So I know that there's always all kinds of different modes, right? And Garrett, you know this because you play yourself a little bit of Fortnite here.
Yeah, there's the fighting mode and the friendship mode and the mode and the
LTM.
Are those any modes that he's talking about? No. Okay.
No.
So what are some of the modes that are currently?
One of my favorite LTMs is high explosives.
What the heck is an LTM?
LTM is limited time mode.
Okay.
They put it in for a limited time.
It's a limited time mode, Garrett. You just don't even know.
Man, I'm starting to know what it feels like to be JJ now. I'm just like, what the heck does any of this crap mean?
That's exactly what goes through my head all the time. I never have any idea. So high explosives. So you're basically going around and like high explosiving all your buddies. Right. Okay. So there's another game mode that you've been playing a lot lately, and I'm just curious what it's about. Creative? What's that?
Creative is where you have multiple people, like you can have 16 people up, and you can play around and do different kinds of modes, fighting modes, making death runs, and other stuff like that, like Prop Hunt, which is a old one from season 8 that they came up with. They added a prop gun in to where you can become a prop.
You can become a prop. So
okay.
What's coming up? I know we got season 11 on the horizon.
Yeah, do we know what's going to be coming up, or is it all secret still?
It's still secrets. Not
lame.
many people know.
Okay.
Well, I know one of the things I saw you doing was as the Batman thing is kind of looming, I saw that you guys were playing in Gotham City, and it used to be Tilted Towers or something?
What? Yeah. That's awesome.
So it used to be Tilted Towers. Then in season 9, In season 8, they exploded it with the volcano,
Right.
and then it became neo-tilted. And then in this season, they switched that to Tilted Town. And in the same season, they didn't like Tilted Town because you couldn't build and you couldn't break.
Huh.
So they got rid of that and they put Gotham City in, where you can glide wherever you want.
All right, very cool. So
awesome.
out of all the playtime you played so far this season, are there any moments that stand out as like your favorite moments, your favorite games, or anything like that?
Definitely when I got my first win in season 10 with 5 kills.
Okay.
Dude, you got 5 kills? Look,
Yep.
look. When you tell a story, here's how you do it. You make it bigger, okay? So Daddy's trying to teach you right now. Here's a teachable moment, and you folks get to hear this right here on the pod.
Not a teachable moment, a peachable moment for those of you
an impeachable moment,
who
yeah.
really love peaches out there.
Right. So when you say you beat 5 guys or killed 5, yeah, I would just up that to like 17 right away. I mean, you just go big or go home.
At least.
Go
yeah.
big or go home. You know what I'm talking about?
That would be lying.
Yeah, and that would not be right? Why are you winking at me? What's that mean? What's that mean?
Nothing.
Okay, nothing. Okay, so do me a favor. Next time Mom's listening to the podcast, let's go ahead and shut that stuff down, okay?
Take your phone, throw it in the toilet.
All right. You wouldn't want to do that. Please don't do that. No, now he's going to do that. And then...
Mom, I'm coming for you.
Oh, no.
All right. Thank you to our resident Fortnite expert. Thank you, Lee.
All righty. Thank you. All righty. Well, thank you so much, Lee, our premier Fortnite expert, in-house Fortnite expert.
Yeah, I don't...
Literally, he lives in JJ's house.
Yeah, he literally lives in my house. I just got to say, I love my wife so much. And I only pray that she listens to our show
Yeah.
and just knows how much I love her. And everything that she does, she's so amazing, wonderful, and funny, and forgiving. She's awesome. Thanks, honey.
Yeah.
Did any of that sound believable?
I'll fix it in post.
Oh, thank you.
I'll fix it in
Thank
post.
you.
How about
Gary,
that?
you're a good friend. If you can make my voice sound
I'll
sweeter.
add I'll add sincerity and sweetness. Yeah.
If you could is there an app for that?
There has to be.
Yeah, good. You know, the Google Play Store.
Yeah, right. Alrighty, guys. Let's get into the question of the show here. We're getting towards the end of the show, and we haven't done a question in a couple weeks. So this one comes in from Derek Peterson. Thank you, Derek. He's a good guy. He's good at those questions. I think we've done a lot of his questions, but he just comes with fire, man. Every week,
time.
Every time.
What's up, DP? That's what they called him when he was growing up
Yeah.
in Oakland. Yeah, he's
from Iowa.
he's an Oakland boy. I don't know if you know that. DP, he was a football player back in the day.
Okay.
Derek Peterson.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So his question is, I love me a good open world game. Red Dead Redemption 2 has been the best theme-wise. I hope before I die I get to play a Harry Potter open world game on the same scale. What type of open world game would you guys love to dive into? Like what theme would we want for a game?
I want to get into the Harry Potter world one. Dude, that's awesome.
I haven't watched all the movies, but
What?
I think that would be pretty, like, I'm still totally down. Like Harry Potter, the game, why are you looking at me? You know this. You know I've only watched like the first movie 10 times.
What's wrong with you?
This is not new information.
No, I'm dumb. I forget stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
I keep thinking like you're going to be cooler by hanging out with me.
It's one of those things where I'm not against watching them.
Yeah.
It's just every time I've had the chance to, like, my buddies will be like, okay, we're going to start with the first one and work all the way through. I've watched the first one, and then everyone else like gives up and peters out, and then I never get to watch the other ones. So I've literally watched the first one probably 10 or 15 times in my lifetime, and I've never watched any of the other. I watched the first one and the last one. I watched like the last half of the last one.
That's fine.
So I know
because
how it ends.
You read all the books, so you already know.
No. No.
What?
We've talked about this before too. I grew up in.
No, I want the new listeners to hear this blasphemous garbage coming out of your mouth right now.
I grew up in a household that back in the day was
Didn't believe in magic?
very, very strict and thought that it was the devil. Nowadays, my parents are like, man, we were idiots. Like,
Yeah.
like, why did we think that?
My family was kind of the same way, where couldn't let my kids do that because it had
Yeah.
witchcraft in it, and then eventually it was like, you know what? It's one of the best children's
Yeah.
stories of all time.
But it was one of those things like back in the day, it was just like sweeping the nation. Like all the Christian homes and stuff were kind of like freaking out over the whole magic being in my home. Like, oh, if you read it, you're going to summon a demon or something like that. It's like, well, I don't know about that. Yeah. So I never read it as a kid, but I would love to read it now. So if anyone has any copies of the books that you can let me borrow, I'm totally down.
Yeah, I would, but I don't loan things out to people. I'm more of a borrower.
Totally understand. Totally
Yeah.
understand.
Well, I told you I'm sorry about those stains.
Yeah. Well.
You could buff those right out.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, if I could go into the Harry Potter world, that would be cool. When I saw that, I pictured Red Dead Redemption, but in Harry Potter. Being able to go around and Diagon Alley and be in an open world, that's awesome. If I were to choose something to do on my own, to be able to go and do something, I would love to do like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings in an open world in a PS4 quality right now. That would be fun for me.
Yeah.
So I just love
That would be
Lord of the
cool.
Rings, The Hobbit, all of that. It's just
they
awesome.
sort of had that with Shadow of War, but even that wasn't like a full on it wasn't like a Red Dead level open world. So yeah, I think Lord of the Rings would be really sweet. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I'd be totally down with that. Man, my pick, I think they've kind of done it before, but I would love a Star Wars open world game. So they had, well, I guess I don't, I never really played it. Back in the day, they had a game called Knights of the Old Republic, that I think was kind of like an RPG-esque kind of like open world type thing. I never got to play it because I wasn't cool. I think it was an Xbox only game back in the day, and I had a PlayStation, so I missed out on it.
But you're cool now, right?
Oh yeah, I'm cool now, so I'd love to play it now. But yeah, there's Knights of the Old Republic back in the day, and then even for a while they had an MMO called Star Wars Galaxies. It was basically World of Warcraft, but like Star Wars themed. But that game was not good, and like it didn't last long, and then they had to shut it down. So I would love like a modern day, like if an actual like a good game developer got a hold of it and made an open world like Red Dead quality of Star Wars, like that would be insane, especially with just, I don't know, the quality of the content, at least on the movie side coming out, like with Disney Plus, like The Mandalorian's coming out, like just seeing the trailers of that, the new Star Wars movies like 7, 8, 9, like just everything's been at such, other than the video games, unfortunately, like Star Wars has been killing it, which hopefully that'll change next month with the new Star Wars game. But I think an open world would be so crazy, like so cool to be able to go planet to planet, do whatever you want. Like I would be, like instead of riding your horse around, you'd be riding like land speeders around or your big starship. Like that'd be so cool.
Having thought about it a little bit, I want to go for a second one real fast.
Okay.
I really love the Back to the Future universe. Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I just love everything about like the DeLorean and those characters and everything else. I would be really interested in a game that was open world through all of the worlds, through 1, 2, and 3. Like going back to the past in the 50s, being able to go to the future, and then to be able to go back to the old Wild West and interact with characters throughout that universe. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I don't know how that would work, but maybe that'd be
work.
cool.
It would work. Shut up. It would work.
Okay. Yeah.
I want it to work.
Cool, JJ. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what we'd want. I want Star Wars, and JJ wants some, I don't know, stupid Back to the Future or something. I don't know.
Back to the Future is not stupid.
Is it though?
I don't think it is. I'm not really hip, so I don't really know.
No, Back to the Future is great. But yeah, there you go. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you haven't already, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/supergamerboys. And even more importantly, go to supergamerboys.com/store and buy some merch.
Buy a shirt.
buy some sweet, sweet merch. Like our Now It's Time for the Nerdy Nudes shirt. Get people talking, ask questions like, what the heck is a nerdy nude? If you have a chance, go and review us over on iTunes, preferably. That would help us out a ton, especially if you go subscribe and download over on iTunes. Those numbers is what helps us get noticed by more people. If you want to find us throughout the week, go over to supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys, supergamerboys.com/discord. If you want to chat one-on-one with us throughout the week, it's actually, it's pretty cool. Like throughout the week, like it's pretty consistent with conversation. People asking questions, sharing cool hot takes or whatever, or news that they found. Or like today, someone in there was like, hey, did you know there was a Redwall video game? Like, do you remember, did you ever read the book Redwall back in the, yeah. So apparently there was a video game. It's out on PC and Mac. And then I think soon, it says coming soon, it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know if it's a good game, but it's just like one of those things like, yeah, someone just randomly found it and posted on the Discord, and we've just had a fun little discussion about it. So if you want to have like just fun, random, stupid, crazy discussions that don't necessarily make it to the show, go over there, supergamerboys.com/discord. I'm on Twitter at @GMorlang. JJ's on Twitter at
JJ Purdham.
Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. You can check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics.
You can also catch me on the gram at...
Still haven't made you a page.
Why have you not done this?
Because you're not going to use it. It's a waste of my time.
No, it's not a waste. You know how many people would be like, oh, JJ's going to have pictures on the gram. That's what the cool kids call it.
Right? You think?
I Googled that stuff.
Not Instapot?
No, when you weren't looking, I checked out your Google box.
Okay.
I was all up in your Google box.
Oh, no. Careful poking around in there. You never know what you're going to find.
I did find some pretty nasty stuff. And for a little bit of money, I won't say anything.
Okay. We'll talk after. Alrighty, guys. Wow, we love each and every one of you so much. Thank you so much.
Except for you, Billy. Except for you. I know you're listening right now.
Billy, that's my dad's name. Why don't you like my dad?
No, he's just Bill. I don't ever call him Billy. No, I love your dad.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, he hugged me the first time I met him. And he did not even look like he was uncomfortable. I even tried to hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean...
And he did not pull away. He did not... I was like, how long could I hold this before this poor man kind of like pushes himself away from me?
Yeah.
But he never did.
He was probably just scared. He was scared.
He's like, what's happening?
Like, what is this small man? Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And we will catch you all on the flippity flop.